Okay. All right. So good evening once again. Now, when we go back to 2018, most of us were there. One most important thing that they used to scam people, Forex trading, crypto. And then when it comes to investing in the company, they will ask you to deposit with Bitcoin. The reason of using that is because you don't want to leave traces behind. So companies come like BitClub Advantage, BitWorld, just to mention those two. Okay, if you have more, you can drop it in the chat box. But one question I want to ask everybody right now is that what prevents you to get these skills for yourself? Drop it in the chat box for me. What prevents you to acquire these skills by yourself? To the extent that there are some people here right now, hearing my voice, who are still waiting to go and put their $100 into a certain business or return. Now, when you go and put $100 in a certain business and they pay you, let's say 2%, okay? And then they give you your money in a 1 month and the company fold up. What does it mean? It means that they go away with your 70% profit or 40% profit, 40% of your equity. But when we get businesses that want to pay us 1% a day, we have problem with them. And the truth of the matter is that we avail ourselves for these companies to come and ruin us, take our money and go. Anytime someone send me information about trading, all these businesses, I will tell you point blank in the face that I'm not interested. I will also say something like, oh, as for me, I prefer to lose my money in Forex trading than giving it to you. Because when I lose my money in Forex trading, at least I know the reason why I lost the money. I'm trading, or I'm trying to trade. Okay? So why won't you learn this skill? You have the opportunity to even learn without paying a huge sum of money. You're only paying with your time. Okay? So that's very important. Let's understand from that point. The fact that you trade binary option and you lost money doesn't mean that Forex trading is a scam. The fact that you set up the trade and it hits stop loss does not mean you don't know how to trade. Very important. That is why we take you through the process of risk management, risk to reward ratio. You know your number. That's how much you lose in a day or how much you spend in a day. Do it ratio and use as your stop loss. Very, very important. Okay, so do not keep losing money just because you want to make money. But lose money the right way so that you can review yourself and understand why you lose money. That is the best advice I want to give for today. All right, now, all these things gives us what we call mental conflict, okay? So there are people, my friend told me yesterday, someone is more or less like she's doing a scam. Was it scam business? Yeah, she likes scam business just because she heard that Forex trading and she joined a company dealing in Forex trading and it didn't work. That is not the point. So That's it. Now, all the consistent people here, all those who are consistent, are Winepa and me, Clean Heart, Icon Move. You are not too consistent. You will come today, tomorrow you won't come. I think Selena is also consistent. Who again is consistent? If you are consistent, drop it in the chat box for me. Now, today, I don't want to treat a topic from my head or from my book, but I want to treat a topic you give me. If you have any topic, especially those who have stayed for a long time, if you have any topic you want us to train on or you want us to look at, let me know. If there's no topic, it means that we're only going to look at the charts, check some of our trades, why they didn't go well, what we didn't do right, and we call it a night as well. So ending of this month, which is today being the last class for July, actually, because this session class lasted for 2 months. Yes, and I believe that is enough for learning. And then next is to look at go practice. Last week we studied MetaTrader platform for you to know how to use them. If today there is time to look at the PC version as well. Okay, then first week in August, I don't know if I should rest small, but well, it doesn't matter. 1st August 2022, Monday, that's coming Monday, we are starting another class from scratch. You'll be hearing something like Introduction to Forex Trading. What is Forex trading? But the point is that it might be different. Maybe informations might be different. Okay, so if you don't understand anything and you've been joining for a very long time, then you can ask questions. And when you ask the questions, I will help you understand. But if I should be answering questions one by one, I'm sure I won't even have time for myself. So it has to be a group question and answer. Okay. All right. Thank you all for the journey together to this point. Without a learner, there is no teacher. And without a teacher, there is also no learner. All right, so I have 2 questions here. How to analyze fundamentals, perhaps another time. Okay. Then question number 2 says, trading with price action. Okay. Any other question? So I think let me use BTC and my favorite friend, gold, for answering the questions. All right, so I think some people were here when we draw this line, and it also come to pass. Amen. Okay, so some people also were here when we drew this level of concentration here. This has also come to pass. Amen. And then let me see how to take off some of my zones. Okay, so let me take off this before we are done. How to reproject market. Now, when it comes to, let me take the price action first, so I can switch the browser at once. Now, when we talk of price action, let me not give you a dictionary explanation. Okay. So let's say action movie. What make it action? Somebody should help me in the chat box. When you say action movie, what makes it action? Who can help me out? When you say action movie, what makes it action? If you understand this, then we are good to go. And when you come to action movie, we have people who like the Chinese and we have people who like the other ones. Unfortunately, I don't watch movies, so if I try mentioning something right now, I will disappoint myself. Okay, I'll disgrace myself. Now, how market is moving according to price is price action. How market is moving according to price and how price is moving according to market. Okay, so when it comes to price action, the whole journey of trading is price action. The whole journey of trading is price action. We hear people saying naked Forex trading. We hear people mentioning we don't use indicators. We hope you have people saying they do pure price action. Then you hear people mention other names. But price action is all about how you see the direction, the nature of the market. The ability to know if market is buying or selling. Then, is it a short-term buy or a long-term buy? How do you know if market is coming this way or is going this way or is going this way? It's not in any direction. That is the price action. We then give it different names, or it has different ways to approach it, where support and resistance comes in, demand and supply, price support, price resistance, then indicators. Now, when we say indicators, I don't know if it's a general correction, but when we say indicators, we are not talking about moving averages. According to health, they take your indicators, they are just trying to understand or analyze the health issue you brought. You say, I'm pregnant. Then you will say, you didn't go and run any test. You say, you're pregnant. You say you have malaria just because you felt your head is aching. So the doctors have to ask you questions, run series of tests for you, putting them together. That is confluence. That, okay, you have malaria. Okay, you are pregnant. Or it is when you ate yesterday that your stomach is swollen. Or you have indigestion. That's why you are throwing up. So anything that helps you to understand the direction of something is just indicating you to that. So one of the major indicator and most preferable one is the candlestick. The major and the most commonly accepted is the candlestick. Now, looks a little bit confusing, but we have chart types. So before I say candlestick, let me bring you to the chart. Now, what constitutes the chart? What comes together to form the chart? The major one is candles. Then after candles, we have a bar. It looks like this. After candles, we have bars. They look like this. So the bars look like that. And after bar, we have line. After bar, we have line. Now, this alone, the line, the bar, the candles alone cannot give you that they move according to price, which is on the right-hand side here. So this is acting to price. The chart is responding to price. And price have something to do with what? Date and time. Now, how do you know the next direction? It is based on historical data. What is historical data? The previous information available even before you start trading is historical. It's history. Now, these are components that decide the movement in the market. For example, before markets on gold break this zone, the rectangle line I drew here, before market breaks it, we have historical information. And this historical information starts from here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Now let me just use probability, for instance. So the probability is that we assume that price got here before. We assume that price got here before, but couldn't break, it bounced up, and then it broke it. Then it came back. It came back and broke it. Came back, break it. Then it continued like that. But after this move, 1, 2, 3, price couldn't break it. Let's say, let me use here 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Price couldn't break it again after how many attempts? Let's say 1, 2, 3. What does this mean? And why then now it touch it, go up, and now break it? That is the question. That is price action. That is how you project. You project the data based on the information available even before you start the journey. Now, you also look at how market is moving along the line and what it is representing. So people look at patterns. People look at support and resistance to make decisions. People also look at connecting patterns. So when we come to Elliott waves as well, it's connecting patterns. So somebody will be doing ABC, then somebody will connect all together to have what we call harmonic patterns, linking to Fibonacci and all those terminologies. Okay, but the most important thing is to accept and understand how price is moving against market and what conditions are pushing it. Now, when it comes to currency, I can say fundamental analysis is part. When it comes to currency, I can say fundamental analysis is part. Because, for instance, market just dropped here within 4 hours. But market didn't take 4 hours to get here. Let's say 4-8. Let's say within a day. But market didn't use the same day to go to where it came from. So if for you to be able to understand the reality behind this move, You need something indicating, something to tell you, something to pre-inform you that this is why markets have just moved rapidly. For instance, there was a buy here, the market got here. Who knows that it will just continue selling from here, but a fundamental happened here and push it up. Then as it is here, who knows it will just continue buying like this. A fundamental happened and they push it down. So all these are things you have to put together to be able to get the direction of the market and know where market is going. And I think this is all price action is about. Okay, I think this is all price action is about. Now, let me, because I'm on the chart, the next question is, how do we interpret Magdi and RSI? Okay, now in a simple form, let me switch to the chart, the other chart quickly. So in a simple form, let me guide it from here. Now, when you look at this side where we have indicators, okay, extra way to identify market. So we have some ideas put together to give you potential clue on the market. So we have trend indicators. So what is trend indicators? The direction. Where are you going? Okay, where are you going? Where are you going indicators? That's one. Then we have oscillators. How is market swinging, or how is price swinging relating to market in relation to conditions in economic activities? So oscillators. We have the volumes. At what point do you determine that there is high volatility here? Okay, then we have Bill Williams. So in default, those are the indicators that come with MetaTrader platform. For instance, for me, any other thing you see here is a customized indicator. All right, now, Magdi and RSI fall under oscillators. Okay, so let me load Magdi. On default, it goes with parameter 14. Okay, sorry, 12. Goes with 12. But when you are developing a strategy, because the strategy goes with observation, you might or you may have to customize it. You can change some basic parameters or informations in it to give you the information or the prediction or the direction or the other information. Now, what they give you is momentum, convergence, and divergence. Okay, so let me load MACD. Now, before I load MACD, let's look at it from here. We have fast EMA. Okay, so what is fast EMA? It only means that fast exponential moving average. Now, the MACD itself is an abbreviation of moving average, convergence, divergence. Okay, moving average, convergence, divergence. That's the full meaning of MACD. I don't know if you are learning actually. Let me know. So then we have what we call slow EMA, the moving average, the exponential moving average that will move slowly. Then we have the MACD simple moving average. Now, those are the three major moving average that come together to give you the MACD. Now, as it gives you the MACD, how do you apply it? Now, MACD works with what we call levels. So for instance, if you want to create levels, maybe you are developing a strategy, you sat down, you put the MACD, you realize that when price got here, market behaved this way. When market got here, price act this way. Those are the observations that people put together to develop what you now buy as important ES. Okay, now let me just bring this one. Now, how will you utilize EA very well when you don't know the compositions of the EA? Well, I leave that to you guys to go and look at. Then we have skill. We have some algorithmic system on calculations that you have to. But a lot of people just put the MACD. This is not really important. Then we have visualization. Do you want to display, or do you want each information to show on all time frames? Yes, if it is no, you can actually edit this whole aspect and stuff. So now let's go back to the parameters. Okay, so now before we even take OK, we have how you want to apply the MACD. We have what we call apply to close, apply to open, apply to high, low, medium price, typical price, and weighted close. Now, what are they talking about? Let's assume we are looking at a candlestick. We have how the candlestick open, how it closes. The lowest it came and the highest it has gone. Now, when you apply the MACD according to close, the interpretation it will give you to price is not going to be the same as open. When you put it at high or low, the interpretation will not be the same as open and close. And if you want it to give you an average price per movement or candlestick, it will also be different. Okay, so that's it. Then we have the main section of the MACD. This one is all about color. Okay, just for you to identify what is happening at what point and this point. Now, when it comes to moving averages, they all have colors, and you can't use the same color of moving average. You may not be able to know the difference between them. For instance, when you see anybody from Dream Deal or Giant FX, okay, if you see anybody and you ask him, what is that purple line on the chart, they will tell you directly that it is 50 exponential moving average. If you ask them, what is the white line we always see on the chart, or black, white on black background, and then black on white background, they will tell you it's 200 exponential moving average. So you have to have your color codings. The color coding helps you to identify what type of indicators you are putting on your platform. Then the signal. There is a way Magdi gives you signal. So currently, let's just stick to these settings. Now we are taking OK. Now, we have what we call histogram on the Magdi. Okay, so let me annotate them for you. So when you look at this one, the one that looks like the graph, it is histogram. Then this one is giving you the signal. Okay, this one is giving you the signal. It's only telling you that. Okay, so let me take it from this level. So let's say market is here. Let's say market is here. Let's say market is here. That blue line I just added. And we assume that you spotted your resistance, or you have seen your continuation pattern because market is trending down. Now you are not too sure. Let me use the word, you are not too sure. Okay. Now, if you are not too sure, that is when you can say, let me add moving average, convergence, divergence to tell me what market is doing. Now, each candle represents, let me zoom out a little. Let me break my rule today. Now, each candle represents one line. So when I bring the line left, it represents candle, 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 candle. Okay. So you've seen a resistance here and you entered a sell. And price got to this level and you are wondering, is it going to bounce here again? Bounce here like it bounced. Okay. So you are wondering, will price bounce here or bounce here again? Then you look at it and say, oh no, the momentum here is not too strong. So let me hold my trade for the sell. And aside that, the signal line tool has given you a sell confirmation here already. So the histogram is reading below, giving you a sell positions here before the major pushback. Okay, technically correction. And then write it down. Now, when you didn't enter the signal on this candle, let's say this one, you didn't enter on this one, then after it broke the line, before then you see how the candlestick makes some small correction here, and this broke it. So this line now gives you the reason to sell, and then the sell pressure came here up to this level. So after that level here, you see that the histogram is reducing whilst market is pushing up. Then after that, it gives you this small buy potential again in the push down. So all this one is giving you that there is a potential downtrend in the market. That's why the histogram is reading below. And this one is also telling that from this level, there is a potential bullish move in the market. So if you're able to project these lines, interpret them well, it means that you can use Magdi very well to act as a confluence of confirmation to your chart. Okay, so that is how it is. So at this point, it gives you this momentum. Why? Because market has been below for a very long time. It gives you the momentum push up again, and then give you the selling pressure. So at this point, we are currently experiencing indecision in the market. So this whole area is giving you indecision in the market. And if you're already a trader, you know what this means. Market is neither moving up or moving down. This is the 1 hour time frame. But if you look at it, market move up here, give us a correction and push up. And then market also move here, give us correction, push down, small correction, and then push down. Okay, so crypto traders is there. Currency traders is there. If you know how to apply these things, I've been saying it. We call it instructional trading. You may not know technical analysis, but you can even make some money when you understand risk management. Okay, so that is for Magdi. Now let me add a relative strength index. Yeah, am I correct? You say RSI. Yeah, so if it is RSI, it is relative strength index. Now, the relative strength index also goes with a parameter with a period of, I think it starts from 14. Okay, so based on what strategy you are using, or based on how you understand the levels of trading and why you want to use it. On the phone, if you open any MetaTrader fresh, you will see 14. Okay, so it also have how you want to apply it, and then the color, the style, and every other stuff. Okay, so let me add it so we see the two. So when you look at MACD at the top, together with RSI, let me go back step. So we have level. So you can create your levels. Okay, you can have maybe 10, 20, 50, 70. So mostly what we do is that, let's say you add 50. Let me add 50. So 50, and I take okay. It means that maybe when market is moving and get to 50, I will trail my stop loss. It's an example. Or I always like to take profit when the Magdi value reach 50. Okay, so what does it mean? When we put all together, it gives us like oversold area and then overbought area. Okay, shows us oversold area or overbought area. Okay, now the RSI also gives you the real swinging nature of the market. Now, when you look at RSI, you see that at this point, market is just moving straight. When you look at the histogram here, it just draw steadily for you. But in reality, it didn't move steadily. In reality, it didn't move steadily. So all these things, when you zoom in like this, it also gives you a clear picture. When you zoom in like this, especially the RSI, it gives you a clear picture. So it does not mean you can use the two at the same time, and you can also put all in one. Okay, let me just show that quickly. Observe. If you want to add anything here, it will come direct. But if you drag it and drop, if you are using phone, you have to be on that window and add it. But if you are using PC, you can just drag it and drop. So relative strength index, I drag it, I drop it, is within it. Okay, that's just how you can add it, either within it or in it, separately or within it. Now, when you look at it carefully here, let's look at this point and learn something. Yeah. Now, when you look at here, you've seen that the structure on the histogram is equivalent, but the Magdi gives you the potential retracement before market drops up to this level. Okay, so interpreting all this gives you the move. You can also be able to draw trend lines on the Magdi. Okay, let's say you want to do this. You can draw trend lines to analyze the historical chart or the histogram or the chart pattern as well. And then within it, it also gives you some patterns as well. Everybody will see this as W or extended W. Okay, it also gives you those benefits. So it just gives you confidence. Now, a lot of people don't really like indicator because they said it lagged, but it's not always about the lagging, but it's about the thing giving you maybe potential direction. Okay, that's why you don't rely on them. You don't rely only on one. You try to understand. Let's say if you are trading with support and resistance, you got your confluence. Let's say you get your direction here. The market is going to buy. You got your candlestick confirmation, and maybe you got your patterns. Then you add MACD or RSI to give you that confirmation. I don't see anything wrong with it. As far as you are making your money, don't worry about whatever people say. Now, a lot of people debunk people who use indicators. But the truth is that there's no holy grail. Price action is not 100%. Candlestick strategy is not 100%. Patterns is not 100%. Smart money concept is not 100%. Institutional trading strategy, it is not 100%. Order block strategy is not 100%. Demand and supply trading is not 100%. Indicator trading is not 100%. What is actually 100% is your observation, but unfortunately, it is also not 100%. Okay, so that is it for those two important questions. See, when you ask questions, it brings out a lot of hidden information. Okay, now Before I answer analyze fundamentals, perhaps another time, let me just switch to Binance platform, and let me tell crypto traders that all this we talked about, they still work there. Now, synthetic traders, yes, it works there. Boom and crash. If you want to trade, let me know. Use my referral link, and then I'll give you some special treats. Okay? Now, one advantage of my referral link is that I want you to be trading for a long time, not to lose your trade and lose interest. Okay? You losing interest means that you are not trading again, which also means that I will be punished. That I've given you the link. I'm not responsible for you. Okay? So if you are looking for a responsible person in the industry, you can use my link and I'll help you become a sustainable and profitable trader. All right, so let's go to Binance. Yes, someone corrected me the last time. That is Binance, not Binance. Okay. So we still learn English here. So we are on. Hey, Ernesto, I see you. Welcome. Hey, the jigs, the vandals are coming back. All right, so we are on BTC USDT. Okay, now this is crypto, but BTC USD is not crypto, it's hybrid. But one is a fiat currency, and the other is a cryptocurrency. Okay, crypto means encrypted or invisible. Okay, so as far as you are not seeing Bitcoin, it's invisible. That is crypto. So I give you one apple. If you want to explain crypto to someone, this is the simple way to put it. All right. Now, one day somebody will ask me that how I never asked I should interpret Magdi and RSI. So one day somebody will also asked me, interpret moving average. Okay. So maybe one day I will wait for that to interpret moving average. Now, what we are looking at here is that now when you come to Binance, you can see the chart on trading view or the main chart. So this is Binance main chart. Okay. Now, on Binance main chart, I have my friends. I think I did this for Ghana Block people some months back, where we are looking at how to trade in a simplest way. And I put moving average 9, moving average 4, moving average 50. So the 9 and 4 is the purple, the blue and the orange. The 50 is the purple, and 200 is what? Is the white one. Now, what happened here? So let's say you don't know how to trade at all, not at all, and these two lines crosses each other, you would have been in serious profit by now. Simple as ABC. Okay, you don't know how to trade at all, but you know that when moving average 4 and 9 crosses each other above, I am buying. By now you are in profit. It also means that if I tell you that when market cross 50 moving average, buy, it means you buy at Bitcoin at 21,422, you'll still be in profit. If I told you that when market cross 200 moving average, it means that you will still buy BTC at 21,900, you'll still be in profit. So my people, why will you still be chasing 1% when you can make 5% yourself? Well, that's just a question, but you can think about it. All right. So this strategy, well, it's part of a strategy called Wealthy Brain Strategy. I give it for free. Yeah, most of my things are free, but now the deal is that anything you want to get from me for free, you have to use my referral link. That is the deal. Simple as ABC. If you're not happy with that, I don't know what else you want. Because I feel that you giving money for some of the services, you can put it into trading yourself. The only point that I charge is you want me one-on-one to give you time, maybe 6 to 7. You want me to teach you Forex or trading. Without excuse, that one will pay for my time. Now let's see if we can add some indicators. Okay. So when you are moving where the timeline is on Binance, okay, I'll get time and do the phone version for you. So don't worry. Now, when you see at the end of it here, you have technical indicator. Now, before then, we have 15-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame, daily time frame, weekly time frame. Now, this arrow down gives you breakdown for some other time frames. Okay. Now, we have the technical indicator here. Now, the current one I'm using is the EMA. EMA. Okay. So, whichever one you want to use, you can customize them here. Then, when we come to the sub, so the first ones are more or less like the ones you can see on the main chart. So we have the moving average, that's just the small, and the weighted moving average, the Bollinger Bands and the rest. Okay. Now, if you come to the sub, let's say you want to use moving average, MACD and RSI. Okay. Now, MACD, you can just close, and this is this showing here for you. So this is just default 12.26.9, and then we have the signal giving you here at this particular level here where it gives you a buy signal. So let's say you are using this particular strategy. Those who actually know the strategy, MACD gives you a confluence. So it means that the MACD gives you the buy signal here, then the moving average cross here. So it means that these two alone are confluence. These two alone are confluence. Then let's add the moving average. RSI. Yeah. So we add RSI. The default period, we didn't customize it. Okay, we add RSI, and then it also gives you the confluence around here. So when you sit down with your laptop or your phone, you observe just these things, you can still get some income for yourself. All right. So thank you so much for that question. I think it's very, very important question. So let me take the first question, analyzing fundamental analysis. Well, this long candle here, I believe, is sentiment or fundamental analysis. Now, what is a fundamental analysis? That's the question. Who can answer? Do you have an answer? When we say fundamental analysis, please, Awenepa, have you? Do I answer your questions, please? Let me know if there is something you want to know about the Magdi and RSI and price action. You can still ask me. And I'm now going to Selena. Hey, Leonzi, I see you too. It means that the ghosts are coming back. The prodigals are following them. Leonzi, I see you. Write in the chat box for me. Okay, so let's go to the browser. And one of the places you can see search information is forexfactory.com, okay? And this is to currency and then crypto, but we have website for crypto, okay? The last time I give FinViz as well, which also gives you some level of screening information for currencies and cryptos, okay? Now let's look at it from here. So let's say you are only a fundamental trader. Today we have FMOC and then federal funds rate. Okay, so a lot of people expected high probability, but the actual data, that's the information they released, is the same as the forecast data. So you don't expect so much volatility. You will see volatility in the market, all right, but you will not see that rapid move, even though it is a high impact news. Okay. Now let's look at Australian dollar. They have CPI, and the data they really were 1.8 against 1.9. So 1.8 is lower than 1.9. Okay, and then the previous data was 2.1. So if 2.1 was generated, that was the previous data, and then today they forecast 1.9, it already means that they're expecting something lower. The projectors are looking at something lower, which means that they are not really expecting the data to go in favor of the currency or positive. So they are already expecting negative. So when the data released is negative, or is lower than the data they projected, that alone gives it a bearish move. So if you are analyzing the fundamentals, you base the actual to the forecast. How do you know? Oh, okay. Now, how you know though is that you can click on the graph here. Okay, so we have the data. You can see from 2000 October and then till today. Okay, so you can now use your I don't know, discrete probability or probability, okay, a layout differentiation and calculus, whatever, to project the next month data to be released. The next month's data to be released. That's one step. Number two step is, well, my ICS members, congratulations, because I'll talk about you again. All right. So let's say I'm logging in. Now, when you come to fundamental, one of the basic fundamental we always forget is correlation and the relative performance of the US dollar, other currencies against the US dollar. Now, this is the first fundamental information you need. The first fundamental information you need. How is the currency performing? How strong is the currency I want to trade? Let's say you do all your technical analysis and you projected Euro USD will buy. At least check the performance of Euro on normal basis to know if it is strong or if it is not strong. For instance, currently, let's say you analyze the USD JPY and you expect, you are now expecting JPY to sell. So instead of USD JPY to be buying, you are expecting USD JPY to sell, which means that you are saying that the US dollar is, the US JPY, is stronger than the US dollar. And some information is happening in Japanese is actually pushing the currency low. That's why sometimes when we do the analysis, we'll come back and say they are manipulating the market. In fact, personally, I don't say that anymore because nobody have time for you. Today I was telling my friend that one of the brokers are giving signals. Okay, they give signals and they give the signal to the people to play, to trade and win if they have the time. So when you take the signal too is going well and hit a profit. Okay, and over trillions of people trading, it's only you that they seem to manipulate you. All right. So let's just kill that mindset at one. Thank you. Now, we have news. Now, all these things, if you don't want it, you have to go to the premium. Okay, but it's expensive actually for now. So when you're making a lot of money, you can be able to. Now, when you look at all this, we have the news and the blocks. Now, The news are more or less like information that goes with certain time, not on calendar. The fundamental, which is this one, they are on calendar. Okay, so the whole of the year, all economic activities are on calendar. So if you keep scrolling down, let me put it this way. Let's say you are analyzing to trade for 3 months ahead. You should be able to see things that will influence your market at what point in time, so that you project your market towards it. So if we are projecting for, let's say, US dollar, okay, 1st August, we have no major news. We have 1 major news, ISM manufacturing. So what you can do is that you can look at it and say, okay, the projected value is 53.0. Now you come to graph and you check how has it been. Anytime they release the data, does it go well? Does it go beyond the projected, the forecast? Okay, once you are able to see and analyze this graph, this histogram, you can then project that the probability that this forecast will work is high or low. Those are the informations. Now, if you just want to be a fundamental trader, okay, like that is what you want to do. It goes beyond being on these free websites. Like, let me be truthful to you, okay? You want to be a fundamental trader and you want to make money from fundamental analysis. You don't just be on these free websites. That is the truth. The reason is that this is supposed to be my VIP and special classes. But the reason is that 1 second difference between the data can affect your entry. Okay. You must also make sure you have a high-speed internet. For instance, let's say this screener, let's come to Forex, okay? Now, when we started, you will see this value to be moving automatically, okay? So if you are a premium person, you don't see all these adverts and all the stuff like that. If you are a crypto trader, you come here, you see all these stuff automatically, they'll be moving, okay? So currently, Ethereum is performing very well against the US dollar. Now, don't forget, they are all performing against, they peg them to the US dollar. So if you want to trade ETC and BTC, you have to do a layer of what we call correlation analysis. Okay, you have to do what we call correlation analysis to be able to. Okay, so Selena, I think I've answered your question. If you are satisfied, let me know. If you're not satisfied, there's any add up. Okay, thank you for me trying to answer you correctly. Okay, so let's do small projection and see. So currently, our goal is actually breaking this level, and today the FMOC has a small role it plays, and then our gold signal we gave actually give us is it 130 pips today? Yes. Those who are scalping, they will make a lot more than that. So what are we looking at here? One way or the other, I'm not really looking at anything much, but we could say lows, the highs are creating. But as far as fundamentals are in, you can also see this as an inverse head and shoulder, one way or the other. Let me use this to just, okay. So you can see this as inverse head and shoulder, one or the other. I'll get a time where we are going to look at how to actually and really draw patterns. Some people draw false patterns because, let's say, let me clean this. Let's say when we are demonstrating, you'll see us do something like this. Okay, so something like this. You see us doing something like this and telling you that that is inverse head and shoulder. Now, when we are drawing some patterns like this, you see us doing all these things for you. So you just go to the market and also force, develop, or get a pattern. No. You draw trend lines, then zones, or support and resistance, or identify consolidating points, correlating the highs and the lows together to give you the pattern. For instance, BTC, yeah, I think we had that pattern. Is it a flag or something like that? Yes. So for instance, BTC, we have a trend line up, and we are now getting another trend line down, connecting the highs and lows. So if we are looking at falling wedge, it means that if we are, okay, so it means that at the end of the day, market will be expecting market to come up. Oh, come on. We are expecting market to come like this and drop. That is if we are looking at flat, bearish, or falling wedge. Okay. Now, if we are looking at if let's say we have a trend line down like this and a trend line up, so this trend line is a downtrend, and we also have market trying to form an uptrend, and they cross each other. We are looking at peanuts. Okay, all right. So we'll get a date for that. All right. So the best advice is don't miss any of the classes, because maybe that day I'll be happy and I'll share a lot of information. All right. So any other question? That's for BTC. So currently BTC is respecting our trend line. That's from 16th June till now. So the month is ending in 4 days time. Okay. So we have to now go to weekly time frame. Okay. So we look at the weekly time frame. Let me distort this. So we look at the weekly. When we look at the weekly time frame, what can you see? That's the question. Currently, it didn't give us any reason of a bullish move yet. But when we put the candles together, we'll be seeing something. And that thing is what we'll go to the monthly time frame to watch. Which means that, per my eyes, okay, I stand to be corrected, and this is not a financial advice. Per my eyes, we can even see something like this. Now, if we are seeing something like that, what does it mean? Probably we are expecting the bullish move. And the bullish move is what everybody wants to hear about. Okay, so per the eye, maybe we are expecting that. Maybe we are also expecting this, which means that if this is what is happening, then we expect opener to come here and then give us the expected downtrend again. There may be those who are waiting on 11,000, they could be happy at the point. Okay, now relate this data with the total coin market cap for you to be able to know the next direction. So let's humbly go to monthly time frame. So we are now going to look at how BTC respects the next month, which is July. How did BTC behave in July? Okay. Well, we will not consider this candlestick as a bullish candlestick yet until it closes. Why? Because the probability that this is just a retracement is high. If market came here before the end of the month, it come back here. And if this gives us almost a Marubozu candlestick, but the month began and BTC come here, what is the probability that it will not repeat the same thing? That's number one. Now we are looking at the the monthly time frame. It means that after 4 days, the way this candlestick closes will give us the clue on how the August month candle will form. Simple. So those of you who are candlestick champions, go and read the Bible and let's hit this on Monday. Okay. So if you also look at it, maybe it's doing a correction to respect the major 29,000 level and maybe create another low. That is maybe create. Now, when you are doing projection, you don't only expect one way. You expect both sides. That is why we said stop loss. And that is why we said take profit. That's why sometimes market will break your stop loss or will act like it's giving you profit and end up giving loss. Okay. So we can't really confirm what BTC is doing here right now. But if you are looking at how it trend down, 1, 2, 3 months, 2-month correction, 1, 2, 3. So how many month correction is it going to do? Or is it coming to do the reversal? Okay. So let's look at it and then we'll see how BTC will push next month. Which also means that we can't validate this as a correction because let me zoom in. This particular June candle only touch the support level. Okay, so probably maybe it's gaining momentum to drop to 4,000. Well, we are not praying that prayer, but at least when it happened there, some of us will have to have one BTC and they push. So currently, apply dollar cost averaging, and like I said, the major correction is what we are experiencing right now. Okay, so for gold, we are going to see how market react after the 4-hour candle is closed, and then yeah, we have 13 minutes more for the 4-hour, a new day to start. We will see how that candle will start forming. See if we are expecting a bullish move to a level of 1767. Okay, a level of 1767. But whatever it is, the signals will be posted on the Telegram and the WhatsApp group. Now, another validation is this level. When you look at it, even though this is a fundamental, market find a way to respect this fundamental. If we came to class a week today, we understand. So we are validating this data. It means that markets have a low, 2 lows level here. Then the other lows are equivalent or in equidistant. Okay, so this is the lowest, this and this are the same. So if you're applying the law of support and resistance, it could affect 1, 2, and 3, which means that we saw a bullish move, a correction, and maybe after the correction, we'll see another bullish move, another correction. But if you also look at the monthly time frame, gold is still a downtrend. Okay, we've seen that. Okay, so we are looking at the monthly time frame. Gold is still a downtrend where we are expecting correction. So this is just a pullback actually. On the monthly time frame, all those push up is just a pullback on gold US dollar. Okay, so we have our double top confirming. So maybe we'll be expecting some correction to 1500 and it keep dropping. Nobody knows. It also happened to be based on how fundamental analysis comes and then FMOC. So on August, we have to be waiting for how the NFP, non-farm payroll, will affect the market. Okay, so based on how it affects the market, we'll see if the August will break our zone between 1693 and then 1674 zone. But don't forget that as you are a retail trader, your equity is not that much to be looking at the weekly and the monthly time frame. What we have to look at is we have to be looking at the smaller time frame, at least daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, to be getting our scalping and swing benefit. Okay, so when we break it on the 4-hour time frame, on the weekly time frame, we've seen the correction happening here. So we mean that we may, in the weekly time frame, expect it to come to the same level of 1750 and retrace down, or based on how it will factor out. Okay, so this was just a control zone line we have put here based on the daily time frame to see how gold will be respecting it. And then break it, we remove the other one as well. Now I bring it to the daily time frame. At this point, you see if this is a correction. So you can now see that it's becoming clearer at the end of the day. We break it down to the 4-hour time frame. We break it in the 4-hour time frame, and it will be becoming more sensible at the probability of it coming to this zone as a correction. So we can still be expecting some bullish moves based on indicating factors and other fundamental news as far as gold is concerned. The last question, as a price action trader, do you trade in confluence with other technical analysis for confirmation? Yes. When you are dealing with price action, for instance, we have what we call pattern formation. We also have what we call pattern separation. Okay, so you saw an M pattern. Okay, what other factors are you looking into on the M patterns? So we always look for confluence. The confluence is just to give you that reason that your analysis is bullish or is bearish. Okay. All right. So if there's no other question, I want to show you guys something next. 9 minutes, then we call it tonight. And then let me stop my recording.